Alright, peace, peace, peace. Beautiful soul. I hope you're doing well today. First and foremost, thank you so much for your patience and your understanding. Feel me? I'm so glad, that it was a flow. Because, sometimes people don't understand and they'll be like, I don't know, it's just them and their energy, that they're entangled in. So I guess they're used to, like, being, fucked over and all these things. And so when that happens, of course, it tells me a lot about the people than me, But it's like off the bat, I appreciate your energy. You feel me? That's what's up. You're a psychic yourself. Wait, are you? You see, I be out the loop sometimes. But yeah, Anyways, without further discussion, let's definitely jump into your reading. Right. So, interestingly enough, your ascendant is in Aries, which aligns the rest of your chart. You feel me? In the sense that Aries belongs in the first house. And so let me explain what the first house is. The first house is ultimately the house that deals with the personality. It deals with like anything that has to deal with you personally, you feel what I'm saying? And so when we think of Aries, for example, right? Aries is a sign that deals with the ego. Its doctrine is I am, and it creates way for egotism. Like Aries is the first sign. So for example, when you look at like the flower of life, and they are explaining the genesis of things, but from a perspective of like circles. I hope that makes sense. Um, the first circle to form was Aries, and then after that first circle formed, it was able to form a second circle, and that's Taurus. But anyways, yeah, Aries is the first circle to form. Aries is the self. Aries is the I. It's the me. It's the self, the I, the me. You know what I'm saying? So with your ascendant being in Aries, you have a great sense of self, and you have a great ability to like persist and persevere through life with your abilities. You feel me? And you have a manner of finding ways, like finding a way, because Aries being the first sign, it is very much the way shower. You feel what I'm saying? And Aries being upon your ascendant, this makes you a sort of individual who has like a warrior like spirit about her. You feel me? You are persistent, and where Aries goes, typically strife also follows, because that's what Aries' ruling planet deals with. It deals with strife, it deals with hardship, but it doesn't deal with you getting stuck within the hardship. It deals with you being confronted by hardships, but then you overcoming those hardships. You feel what I'm saying? And rising as the victor. Aries is the number one, right? It's the first sign, so it likes to be number one, likes to be in the first place. You feel me? And then when we take this Aries ascendant and we combine it with the Leo moon, like this makes for an individual who is going to have natural literal abilities. You feel what I'm saying? So it is of great importance and value, for you. And of course, odds of you attracting literal positions are pretty likely. You feel what I'm saying? With you having that Aries ascendant. Um, but like the ascendant, it more deals with yourself. So for you personally in your life, you like to feel like you are in a sense in control. You feel what I'm saying? And you like to feel like you like to feel like that you are in control and that you got something going, that you're actually working towards something. Like Aries is a very executive energy, for what I'm saying, and it's also um, represented by the ram. And the ram, it likes to like charge headfirst into things. So this can manifest a tendency for you to want to charge into like your different goals and ambitions and desires, and from them hopefully succeed. Because what Aries is all about, succeeding. So Aries and also Leo, they're both very ambitious signs. You feel what I'm saying? But ultimately, yeah, that's pretty much like your ascendant in Aries. Like this makes you a sort of individual who's very Um, I want to use the word egocentric, but I don't want you to. I'm not saying that you probably are egotistical though. No, I'm just gonna probably, I'm looking at your chart, so maybe you are a little self-centered, self-egocentric, But yeah, it does indicate, unless there's other things going on in your chart, But for the most part, it does indicate that like you have a great sense of self-worth, self-esteem. If what I'm saying, it's like this energy of like knowing who you are and no one else being able to tell you who you are. Like I said earlier, Aries deals with the I am, so when Aries is in the first house, it's like I know who I am, and even like a kind of hard-headedness can manifest where you may feel like you have the right way to do it and there's no other way if it's not your way, if what I'm saying. um and so, yeah, with that being said, like Aries, it can struggle with compromising. It can struggle with allowing other people to come in and like help them, Like if it's one thing that's for sure is pride. You may be a real prideful individual. And that's good. It's good to be prideful, but one thing I realize in pride is that when you're prideful, you forget that you didn't get here by yourself, and even if you are self-made from a physical perspective, what I realized with pride is that when we are prideful, and minimal amounts of pride are good. It's beneficial to celebrate yourself and feel proud, but I mean like excessively feeling proud, like getting a big head, you feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like that can be negative, because when you do that, then it's like you disconnect from God, because all of a sudden it's all you. And then it's like when you think it's all you, you get left to your own devices. Because it's like you got to understand that as you think, so it is, right? I am that I think, and I think, so I am. So if you think that you are the shit and that you don't need no help, then you manifest circumstances and conditions where you have to be the shit, and you have to, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like you won't get help, but you have to be the help. And that isolation, that solo doloismness of Aries, can be a reason why a lot of hardships and trials are manifested, because it's like Aries, maybe could have found a way to compromise, make a couple compromises for the sake of saving a relationship, but it's like Aries didn't do that, Instead, it was like, nah, I don't want to compromise that. I want to go and do my own thing, like, if what I'm saying. And so, in the process of doing their own thing, Aries may manifest more hardship, you know, than if they just chose to like compromise and develop further their ability to relate and communicate and articulate themselves with other people. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing with Aries, and yeah, but for the most part, it's a great sign. It's a sign of activity, so with being the sign of activity, it's an indication that you have a great amount of energies accessible to you, which you can access. But it's like first, before that energy is tapped in and before that energy is accessed, you have to you have to like I don't want to say before, because like with Aries, it's gonna be there. It's not even before it's access. But I guess what I was trying to say is you would benefit from learning to do things that help you constructively channel your energy, in the sense that like Aries, it can be mental restlessness also, because Aries deals with the mind, but then you're a Virgo and you have all this Virgo energy, so Virgo is most definitely mentally restless, if what I'm saying. But then it's like the fire in your chart, the moon in Leo and the Aries, it produces more energy for the Virgo to process. That's what Virgo does. It processes. And just so you know, in the body, Virgo rules the digestive system, if you know what I'm saying. And so yeah, it'd be of great benefit for you to find ways and means to channel those energies, that energy. You feel me? So then it it doesn't over consume you or overtake you, but you're like understanding how to manage it, if that even makes sense. Like even doing something as simple as like um taking a cold shower in the morning, I feel could probably help you find balance. um yeah, I feel like, because like when you take a cold shower, right, of course there's all these health benefits and everything like that to it, you feel what I'm saying, but it's like it's also an accomplishment, right? Like you starting your day off with getting uncomfortable, but then getting comfortable within the uncomfortability. Like that, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, like that releases all this energy, but it's like that energy that's being released, it's but you know what's crazy about releasing energy? It's like once you release energy, you have energy yourself, but it's like refined energy, for what I'm saying, in the sense that if you get into a cold shower, then it's like you're gonna start to shake or something, and then all of a sudden you're gonna generate all these different energies. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so that can be one of them. But also like working out. Like Virgo is a sign that deals with routines and patterns. You know what I'm saying? So it's important, and it'd be good for you. You know what I'm saying, to like create routines and patterns, but also stick to them. You know what I'm saying? Like Aries is a sign that deals with striving. It deals with accomplishing. It deals. It's like a sign that deals with purpose as well. You feel what I'm saying? Um, yeah, all of it, that purpose. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and Aries very much has to be purposeful. You feel what I'm saying? And goal orientated as well. So everyone knows that Aries is a very ambitious sign. So with your first house being in Aries, it'd be valuable for you to HD, you feel what I'm saying, your ambitions and your goals, and have like clarity about those ambitions and goals. But furthermore, like I said earlier, Aries deals with the I am. So it's like, and then Leo also deals with the self-image. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like once those ambitions and goals are HD'd, high definition, you're clear about them, then it's like you would, you feel what I'm saying, like benefit also um, from an I am perspective, aligning with them, you feel what I'm saying. But then, like I said earlier, Leo, right? You have your moon in Leo, so let's talk about that. Okay, so moon in Leo. So the moon is in Leo. Well, your moon is in Leo. Um, and so with your moon being in Leo, first and foremost, the moon, it deals with emotions. How you process emotions. You feel what I'm saying? How you integrate those things that come to you to react and respond to. I said integrate, but it's really how you react and respond to the stimuli that is presented to you. So first and foremost, it's a fire sign. Leo's a fire sign. So you're very dramatic when it comes to your emotions, emotional expression. You feel what I'm saying? Hold on. But then Virgo is a more inwardly sign. It's more, yeah, it's more of an inwardly sign. It's more introverted. Um, yeah, it's more introverted. You feel what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. And so with Virgo being more introverted, um, it is going most definitely to alter that energy of the Leo expression, where it's like just sporadic and spontaneous, more is the word I'm looking for, where it's like more spontaneous, because Virgo is a sign that is very analytical. It deals with analyzation, period. And it's like this need, you feel what I'm saying, for you to for you to sit down, observe, and integrate the details and the information that is presented to you within the life. You feel what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, Virgo is more of a thorough sign. You feel what I'm saying? Virgo more deals with like analyzing something and then assimilating it, like in the like in the body. Virgo rules the digestive system, for instance. You feel what I'm saying? And the digestive system is all about taking in raw materials and then making something out of them. You feel what I'm saying? Like extracting the good from like the separating the good and the bad and getting rid of the bad. I feel like there's very much Virgo energy. But anyways, yeah, because it's more of an inward sign. I don't know. I don't think you would be a sort of person who would express your emotions in a manner that isn't cool. Because I feel because of Virgo. You feel what I'm saying? Virgo's a cool sign. It's more chill. It's more mellow. But Moon and Leo energy, though, you may not express your emotions, the destructive ones, that is, because Virgo is very thorough also, and it tends to think, and it plays chess a lot of the time compared to checkers, right? It doesn't really play checkers. It likes to play chess. And yeah, so from that angle, I don't think you could really show people your more negative, destructive energies and attributes. You feel what I'm saying? Nah, most definitely not people, but like maybe the close ones within your immediate environment, your loved ones. You feel me? Like your family, the home, because you also have Moon in the fourth house, and the Moon deals with the home. So Leo is a sign that deals with dominion. You feel what I'm saying? It likes to dominate things. And so when it's in the Moon in Leo in the fourth house, this can play out as you having a desire to like dominate and control your home, your family life. But at the same time, it can play out as like, yeah, it'll play out as that, like controlling ismness, and I think that's more of the toxic trait. But for the most part, it can also play out as you like encouraging those around you to be themselves to the fullest of their abilities, because Leo is all about expression of the identity. You feel what I'm saying? And so Leo is a fixed fire sign, and it's ruled by the sun, and it deals with the willpower. You feel what I'm saying? And so with all that being said, the Moon also gives you an awareness of your upbringing. So your upbringing, it can manifest through the two polarities of where it's like, on one end, you may have grown in an environment that was conducive to your individuality and to your realization of like yourself and understanding who you are. Like you may have been encouraged to be yourself. You may have been encouraged to. But Virgo, you see, like, okay, that's Leo. Like Leo energy, it's more spontaneous, and like positive, optimistic, and good energies can come from it, from the perspective of a child, Moon and Leo, So yeah, there is that possibility, but then another possibility, which I can see more possible, because when a Virgo is born, because Virgo deals with labor, it deals with work, it deals with responsibilities, routines. It's like the person who gave birth to the Virgo child, like, experiences that Virgo energy of, like responsibility, labor, like maybe it was hard, like it was an unexpected child. Yeah, it's yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like with the Virgo energy, it can play out as the child was not expected and it was like a bad time, and like it was hard but they had to do it. Or it can be like the birth was completely planned to the T, you feel what I'm saying? So it can be one way or the other. But yeah, you feel me? So yeah, like, but because likely there were experiences within the childhood that validated, you know, you going out and getting validation from others, because Leo is a very not self, but attention centered sign. You feel what I'm saying? So what I mean by this is that, like, Leo is a sign that is like on the pedestal, right? It's ruled by the sun, and typically it's praised. Like in tarot, it would be like the Six of Wands. I think it's the Six of Wands. You feel me, in tarot? And so this energy is like just pridefulness, and people maybe boosting your ego, and maybe the parents making you think that you're greater than what you actually are. And so then, like with the moon and Leo, a superiority complex can manifest. But it's like the superiority and the inferiority complex, they're somewhat entangled in the sense that a lot of the times, well, okay, a lot of the times, people who feel like they are superior, they're really compensating for inferiority energies. You feel what I'm saying? But these are people that go beyond to prove their superiority, supremacy. So it's like these people right here, they're truly inferior, and they're compensating by trying really hard, to prove to people that they're superior. But then there are other people that have true superiority energies, where they know that they're superior and they're not even loud about it. They just allow themselves to be. And it's not even about superiority, but it's just an understanding of the self. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's Leo energy. So with Leo being in your moon, also understand that the way that your upbringing made you perceive yourself is going to be of great importance. You feel what I'm saying? In the sense that Leo moons can start to believe that they need to fulfill a certain image, of perfection. Like, people in their life are always expecting them to be this way and that way and that way. So then they strive towards this like image within their mind of perfection, of like who I need to be. And like this version of them is like on this high pedestal, and it's like it may not even be reality, it may be impossibility. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like Aries, I feel like to an extent it can be like I said dominating, right? It can be dictatorial in the sense that it wants to be like the best it possibly can be. And so it's like a internal like cognitive dissonance, we can even say, can manifest, because it's like on one end, you feel like this is what you need to be, and this is who you need to be, this is the image you hold about yourself. But then on the other hand, that's actually who you are. So like these two energies can clash, you feel me? And it can end up producing more tension than positive energies, you feel what I'm saying? But ultimately with Leo moon, it's important that you learn to work with your self-image, you feel what I'm saying? And you learn to you learn to work with your self-image, and you learn to work with your imagination, visualization, you feel what I'm saying? 100%, because fire signs to deal with visualization and sight and seeing, you feel what I'm saying? And so yeah, it's important for you to learn to work with visualization and working with the self-image and creating a better self-image for yourself, from seeing yourself in lights that are not so far-fetched but that are possible, you feel what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes it's like, depending on where you are, right, on your journey, of course, it's like sometimes we may create a positive self-image, but due to the law of suggestion, when we bring up that positive image, there are also thoughts suggested to us that are polar opposite to that self-image. So it's like, what I mean by this is, if we grow up in conditions where we were told that we weren't good enough, and that we were ugly, and that we were fat, and that we were stupid, things like that, then it's like, when you start to think of yourself as beautiful, as smart, as slim, then then it's like that's the image you're holding. But then it's like there's all these other thoughts because of auto suggestion that are kind of connected to that thought, and it's like in a manner because like they're in a sense in the same wavelength, just different polar opposites, right? Like skinny, fat, ugly, beautiful. So yeah, like the auto suggestion. So it's like, boom, this person goes in, and then they have like this idea of this image that they want to solidify within them. But instead of solidifying that image within them, they only give rise to more and more and more negative thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they're trying to see themselves at this image, but then it's like they already have this other image within their mind that's way more powerful, that deals with what they actually may be, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that that made sense. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, now let's look into your sun, which is in Virgo. So your sun is in Virgo. Also, I just want to throw this out there. Like with your moon being in the 4th house in Leo, like family does become something that's of great impact to you one way or another. Definitely something of great impact to you. But anyways, with the sun being in Virgo, and if I'm not mistaken, it's in the 6th house, right? So Virgo's a sign that deals with it deals with the harvest for starters, right? It's a harvest sign, and so it's a sign of achievement. For instance, yeah, it's a sign of achievement, and so Virgo is a sign that it's ruled by Mercury, so it deals with psycho-cybernetics. I always like to bring up psycho-cybernetics, and I would highly recommend you looking into psycho-cybernetics and learning what psycho-cybernetics is. Understanding that. But yeah, anyways, that's psycho-cybernetics. Psycho-cybernetics is two words, right? Psycho meaning the mind, and cybernetics meaning the mechanical study of, how machines move, but also how animals move, but not how the mind, the brain influences the body to move. So psycho-cybernetics is the study of how our thoughts go on to produce actions within us. And so Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of thought, but both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. Gemini is a sign, you feel me, that more deals with the internal thoughts. It more deals with thoughts that are ungrounded, being up in the air and just thinking, thinking. But then Virgo deals with analytical thoughts, thoughts that stem from seeing something in your environment. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the first major differentiation between the two. Virgo is extracting mostly from its environment, through its senses, But then Gemini, it's extracting mostly from its internal world, from its thoughts and ideas and beliefs and unpractical thoughts, So Virgo is more practical than Gemini, for starters. You feel what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, they're powerful in making an idea into a reality, because they're attentive and they're focused on the things around them, and they're analyzing the things around them, but from a point of perspective of how can I improve this? How can I make this better? So even if they have an idea, they can think okay, what do I need to do? And then they'll go on to set out a plan from 1 to 10 to get that done. You know what I'm saying? So Virgo, definitely really cool energies when it comes to manifesting and bringing things into fruition. But it's unless you have that spiritual background, then you suffer because Virgo is associated with the planet of thought, Mercury, which is really the planet of logic, but it can be defined through thought as well. Virgo is influenced by the fact that whatever you bring into your mind, you will also experience outwardly, in the sense that if you sow seeds of hardship, of struggle, of poverty, of illness in your mind, then it's inevitable that you will go on to sow, reap. I mean to say reap. You will go on to reap those exact circumstances and conditions that were first thoughts. You feel what I'm saying? So it's important for Virgo to understand this. It's important for Virgo to learn to start to program their thoughts because they're so close to Mercury. You know, it's like their minds are powerful, but they're also very mentally activated. But it's like, you know, when Eve and Adam, biblically speaking, ate from the tree of knowledge, if what I'm saying, they were consuming allegorically from like the the energy of Virgo, you know, and I still don't know completely how to articulate this yet, but it's like the moon, the tree of knowledge of good and bad, signified like Virgo, the energy of Virgo, you know, the ability to analyze, the ability to discern, and so when they ate from the tree of life, that was actually Pisces, you know, because Pisces deals with life in general. It's the accumulation and the collection of all of the energies, and that's why Pisces is the last sign. But Pisces is also the opposite to Virgo. And so then they had to go into the tree of life, Pisces energy, and they had to integrate and understand good and bad through the Virgo energy. But it's like that simple descendants, you know, from like the lower plane into the higher plane, um, signifies that Virgo, in a sense, is the channel in which, like, the mind influences the physical body. You feel what I'm saying? So, because it's like, it's an Earth sign, but it's ruled by, it's an Earth sign, but it's ruled by an air planet, the planet of the mind. So yeah, you know, that's that. But yeah, so it's very important to learn to do that. You know, to learn to integrate um, with thoughts that are more conducive to your well-being. Um, so, like, Virgo, the whole sign is the sign of service. But when Virgo is in the last decans, because you were born in like the last days of Virgo, then this is like the decan of renunciation, right? And to like renunciate ultimately means to like disagree with something and remove yourself from that thing. But more so from a perspective where it's like you're disagreeing with it and you're removing yourself from that thing, but you're also like trying to help others get away from it too. I hope that makes sense. And so this decan highlights especially the purification aspect of Virgo. You know, in the sense that Virgo is a sign that deals with purity. You know, they're known as the virgins. You feel me? It doesn't mean that they don't get down, but Virgos can be sexophobes. You know, because they want to have sex. They want to be intimate with others, but they can think that sex is just too much. It's too gross, we can say. You feel me? Because they can be the germaphobes as well. You know, but truly they want it. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much just fundamental reading, you know. And before I leave, I also want to touch upon for you the the different decans. You feel what I'm saying? So first and foremost, like your sun, I already mentioned, it's in the decan of renunciation, right? And then your moon is in the decan. I think that's the decan of it's a decan of rulership. You know, so your moon is in the decan of rulership, your sun is in the decan of renunciation, and your ascendant is in the decan of propaganda. You feel what I'm saying? So Aries, you know, it very much does have this ability to like implant a thought into others, you know. And this is the decan of Aries. It's the last decan, which is sub-ruled by Jupiter. So it's the Aries Sagittarius decan. So these are the Aries that are more philosophical and that are more mental, you know, with your ascendant being here. So personally, you are a very philosophical person as well, and you do have a desire to like help implant seeds into people's minds. You feel what I'm saying? And that may even be like, because Virgo is in the deacon of renunciation, so your work can also be in the assistance of helping humanity like cleanse their minds, in the sense that a lot of the bullshit that we've been fed and believe, like we need to move away from that, into a more healthier place. And that may be like your energy to like your work of field, And I also want to say this, like, you are very much a workaholic, or you just like to work a lot. You know what I'm saying? With you having that sixth house, I think you have a sixth house still, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. No, you don't. You don't have a fifth house. You don't have a sixth house stellium. So no, you don't really go that hard with work. But your Saturn is in the 10th house. So your career is something that like you're focused heavily on building. But yeah, so the deacon, your ascendant is in the deacon of rulership. My bad. Your ascendant is in the deacon of propaganda. You feel what I'm saying? Your moon is in the deacon of rulership. So learn to gain a rulership over your emotions. And your sun is in the deacon of renunciation. So learn to help cleanse and purify humanity. You feel me? And this can even be through like teaching them new things, or through health, or whatever it may be. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that pretty much concludes it. Definitely let me know what you think, and if it's not too much to ask, can you please, write a review on this? I would definitely like to hear what you have to say about it. Yeah, and with the review, just write it on my like Facebook page, you feel me, and then post it there. I would definitely appreciate that. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper with me, like this reading, it's more of a fundamental reading, also to help you gain an awareness of like what it's like to work with me as your astrologer. You feel me? Like I can go deeper, and I would love to go deeper for you, in the sense that if you're interested in a full reading, where we're looking at everything within your chart, we're looking at the houses, we're looking at the signs, we're looking at the planets, and we're looking at the aspects. But furthermore, we're looking at like the decans, right? The exact degree. Because it's like there's 12 signs, but each sign has 3 decans. So there's 36 decans to the 12 signs. And it's like every decan of a sign is slightly different. So it's definitely valuable to understand that. It gives more personal information. But yeah, definitely let me know if you would be interested in doing that, and we can definitely get that ball rolling. Alright, peace.